Welcome back, everybody. We're here pulling cards for October the 27th this time. I'm going to be pulling one card per sign. And so if you know your sun, moon, and rising sign, you can get a lot of information pretty quickly, just like that. If you know your other planetary placements, then you can get a whole lot of juice out of a really quick little card pull like this. I want to thank those of you who are participating in the contest and commenting down below. That is much, much, much appreciated. And let's see. Let's get started. How come I can't stop shuffling? Well, while I'm still shuffling, this just means there's a lot going on today. But while I'm still shuffling, I just want to thank those of you who are ordering private readings and private Reiki sessions and Reiki candles from me. Always a pleasure to serve you, and always a pleasure to get to know you guys as individuals. Okay, I think we're ready now. Aries, you guys are first. Okay, Aries, what you have is the moon card showing up showing up right side up. I actually like this card better when it's in reverse, but right side up just means that there's something going on that you're involved in a situation that you don't know the full details about. There's something going on that is really probably not exactly adding up. You may already sense that there's a rat in the woodpile with this, or a snake in the woodpile, however you want to say that, when this card shows up, or you may not. You just want to be aware that everything may not be exactly as it appears, and you want to try to, if you're making any big decisions around a situation where things may not be as they appear, and you're noticing little pieces aren't quite adding up, you want to dig for full information before you really move forward in whatever capacity with that situation, Aries. Okay, next up, let's look at Taurus. Taurus, we have the Nine of Coins. This is a card that talks about being very self-sufficient, very independent, having an abundance. This is where the Ten of Coins is sort of the happy, secure family card. This is more the happy, secure, single individual card. So if you're not actually single, which I'm sure not all the Tauruses who watch this video are single, if you're not single, then you're definitely doing something independently to make sure that you have plenty of resources. Okay, next up, let's look at Gemini. Geminis, you have the Eight of Clubs showing up in reverse. Now, when the Eight of Clubs shows up in reverse, this is telling me that there's a real slowdown in communication. This is not a card that talks about somebody cutting you off from communication or anything, you know, really dramatic like that. It just talks about that there's a slowdown in communication. And always I suggest when this card comes up, that this is a good time to catch up on things that maybe were on the back burner while this slowdown is here. You want to take advantage of this time because it's not going to last forever. Okay, that's for Geminis. Next up, let's look at Cancer. Okay, so Cancers, you guys have the Justice card showing up here in reverse. I feel like you guys have a decision to make today, and that decision has to do with somebody or a group of somebodies who have done something that ended up with bad results, okay, negative type of results. And this person, what you're having to really sort out and decide is, did this person have intentions for things to end up this way, or was this person trying to do something good that just went off track and they didn't know how to recover it? Because if they had good intentions that just went off the tracks, then you can do basically some remedial type of training or you can educate them on how to handle that situation better the next time. But if they had negative intentions for the outcome to start with, then you want to respond to them in a little bit of a different way. And so with this Justice card here in reverse, I think this is you actually making a decision about what was really going on with that situation and acting appropriately. Okay, so that's for Cancers. Next up, let's look at Libra. So Libras, you guys have the Queen of Swords showing up here. I think that there's something going on that you are trying to be very analytical about today. You may be, I think you're Not so much making a decision as you're analyzing or evaluating a person and what they're bringing to you as a proposal or as the facts. They're bringing you something to think about or consider. And so I think you're really analyzing this person, you're analyzing their intentions, you're analyzing, whether what they're saying is real or not. Because let's remember, the Queen of Swords has been through some stuff, some pretty heavy duty stuff usually, and she's somebody who has a lot of wisdom because of that, and because of that, she can smell baloney about 10 miles away. And so I think you're really checking out to make sure that whatever this person is coming at you with, that they're coming at you with the truth, with something that is valid and authentic. And so you definitely have your analytical thinking cap on as you're looking at this person and whatever it is they're bringing to you as an offer, okay? An offer or some type of opportunity. La da 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 da. Who's that? That was for Leos. Next up, we're looking at Virgo. So Virgos, you guys have the High Priestess. I think Leo's got this yesterday in reverse. So Virgos, you have the High Priestess coming in. She's right side up. This tells me that you've got something going on with your intuitive abilities or with your sensitivity spiritually, where you're having some kind of incident today that really makes you think, and it makes you kind of second guess what you thought about your abilities before. And this is in a good way. This is where something happens that shows you that your psychic abilities are a lot more in tune than maybe you thought they were. Okay, so we like this expansion of psychic abilities, or maybe even just recognition of your expansion of psychic abilities. Cool, cool. That's Virgo. Cool card for somebody who's so grounded. Next up, we're looking at Libra. Libras, you guys have the Temperance card. I think you're trying to keep everything in balance today. You're not trying to overindulge in anything. You're trying to keep everything in moderation. And that includes emotions just as much as it would any kind of substances that would be mind-altering. And this also talks about patience. It talks about that you may have a situation where part of the moderation, part of keeping everything in balance, is being patient to let this situation fully bloom and blossom at its own pace in a more organic fashion. Okay, so not being pushy. Not being pushy, Libras. Okay, next up, let's look at Scorpio. Scorpios. 7 of Coins. Today is payday. That's interesting. On the 27th, that's a Wednesday. All right, so my 7 of Coins is my day that my first key word that I associate with this card is payday. Now, I know some people, some readers look at this as when it comes in right side up that it's waiting for that pay. I don't. I never have. So for those of us who are Scorpio, today is payday. Now, there can be a lot of different ways that payday manifests. So this could be, if you own your own business and you get paid on random days just for doing your services, this could literally be payday, like we normally would think about it. But this also can be really anything that you've put energy or invested into, whether you invested energy, time, effort, finances, whatever. This could be an investment that pays off. Okay. This could be where you've invested into a relationship and now there's some kind of payoff emotionally or in your personal life because of that investment in a relationship. I've seen that come up before as well. But for most of us, this is going to be a literal payday. We're going to receive some type of money. Maybe you win $3 on a lottery ticket. Maybe you win 100 million on a lottery ticket. I don't know what the jackpots are because I don't keep up with that. But, some type of payday. For most of us, this is going to be financial, but you want to keep in mind that this could also be some kind of payday or payback for something that is in a different part of your life as well. Okay, so that's enough talking about that card. Let's move on. Sagittarius. Ace of Clubs showing up in reverse. This is telling me that you're having some kind of idea about something that you need to get done or that you need to get accomplished that you're not so thrilled about. You know, this can be realizing, oh my gosh, I'm out of laundry. I have to do laundry. Bleh. Or I need to start figuring out what my quarterly tax payment should be. Bleh. You know, anything like that, anything that we think of that we know we need to accomplish, it needs to happen, we need to get it done, but it's just not our favorite. It might be a little bit tedious or monotonous, something like that. We don't feel all that great about doing it. It's not exciting. It's not something exciting. Let's put it that way. Okay, so that's for Sagittarius. Next up, let's look at Capricorn. So Capricorns, with the Four of Swords showing up in reverse here, what this is telling me is that today you're doing something that's in a different location than normal for you. You could actually be on vacation. You could be out on a business trip. You could also be doing something little like eating a meal in a different location than usual. You could be taking your kid to a different daycare or a different babysitter than usual today. Something is happening for you in a different location than normal, Capricorn, when this card comes up for me. All right, let's see. Next up is Aquarius. So Aquarius, you guys have the Empress showing up in reverse. What is going on here? Okay, so Aquarius, here's the thing. When the Empress comes up in reverse, this can be my codependent card. Just like when the Emperor comes up in reverse, that's my narcissistic card. Empress in reverse is my codependent card, okay? And narcissist and codependent, they're the perfect couple. You see them together all the time. So the Empress and the Emperor and the Empress are the perfect couple when they're upright, only in a much more positive way. So the Empress coming up here, Aquarius, is telling me that you're going to be feeling really tempted to be sort of codependent on somebody right now. So you want to try to head this off, whether that takes shadow work or whatever that takes. You want to kind of try to head this off because you want to have a more healthy relationship than this with whoever this is that you're feeling codependent towards. So for those of you who don't know about the concept of codependent, because not everybody does, a codependent person is somebody who probably they grew up in a situation where things were a little bit out of control and they had to be the grown-up before whatever you would consider normal. Okay, and so this person kind of grew up with the idea that if they're not in control, things are not going to work out very well. And so a codependent person tries to control things just to make sure everything's going to be fine, even when those things aren't really theirs to control. Okay, so, you know, this can be if you have a significant other who parties a lot and then they miss work, you could be the one, you could find yourself being the one to call in to work and say that they're not going to show up because they might not want to call in. They might just want to sleep through the time when they should be calling in. You know, so this is, you know, doing things that other people should be doing, taking control of situations so that they'll end well, that type of stuff. And so this is where I see you potentially, definitely being tempted to do today, Aquarius. And so you want to step back and let the other people around you handle those responsibilities that actually are theirs. Because by handling their responsibilities, we're sending two messages. First of all, we're sending the message that you're not capable of taking care of this, which just disempowers our person who is already having struggles, usually with dealing with life in general anyway. So we don't want to disempower them by expressing our unconfidence in them. And it also takes away the chance for them to step up to the plate and do the things that they need to do, which they might do if somebody else wasn't, you know, doing them for them. So anyway, Aquarius, basically this card says it's going to be really tempting for you to be codependent today. Of course, the advice with that is do whatever work you can on yourself so that this is not a temptation that you actually fall into, and also so that it's a little easier for you not to fall into this temptation in the future as well. Okay? La da da. Let's finish up with Pisces. Pisces, you guys have the Seven of Swords showing up in reverse. Seven of Swords in reverse to me talks about picking up the pieces, especially in this deck. Talks about picking up the pieces after something has happened. This can be cleaning up after a dinner party. This can be a lot of things, but just picking up the pieces. This can be picking up the pieces after a fight, trying to get things back on good terms again. You know, this can be a whole lot of things. So picking up the pieces, though, is kind of the key phrase that goes with this card. That's what I expect that you'll be doing today, Pisces, at least for some portion of the day. Thank you all very much for being here. Remember the contest. Don't forget to enter with your comment below the video. Everybody have a fantastic, wonderful, thrilling, peaceful day. I'm looking forward to reading for some of you later on and doing Reiki for some of you later on. And the rest of you, I'll see you back here on the next video. Peace out.